Welcome to the Boomer's Guide to a Vibrant Life with Vicki Washburn. Vicki and her guests will share their journey of the golden years and how they're creating a vibrant life. Topics will include family, fun, life, love, travel, and everything Boomer. You too can have the best of your vibrant life now. We are broadcasting from Global Voice Radio every week, and now here's your host, Vicki Washburn.
Good morning, Boomers. This is Vicki Washburn, and today I want to talk to you about a few ways that you can balance your hormones through menopause and perimenopause in drug-free ways. I found this great article by Dr. Mercola on using essential oils and on bioidentical hormones. Now, I am an avid proponent of essential oils. You should know that by now. I'm also an avid proponent of non-pharmaceutical ways to deal with our health and our and ways to live vibrantly and to stay healthy all the days of our lives. So let's just talk about some of these. Like I said, you know that I discourage pharmaceutical methods as a first line of defense. That includes traditional hormone replacement therapy, or HRT. If you're a woman in middle age, there are safer, more natural options to soothe menopause symptoms and help you balance your hormones. Essential oils such as clary sage, geranium, lavender, pine, and rose are potent natural alternatives to balancing female hormones, especially during menopause. Rose is one of those things that, you know, my grandmother and my great-grandmother wore all the time. And I never thought about that maybe there was a physical reason that they did that other than just it was popular at the time to wear as a perfume or to put into creams and lotions. But, you know, our ancestors knew a lot about doing things in a natural way because they didn't have access to a lot of the pharmaceuticals that are pushed upon us now. So they knew how to deal with what was going on in a more natural way. And rose may be one of those that they used just knowing that it made them feel better. Diet and lifestyle changes can have a tremendous positive effect on your overall health while helping to alleviate many of the distressing symptoms of menopause. Essential oils have been used for a millennia to treat a myriad of health concerns. Given their potency, versatility, and effectiveness, it comes as no surprise that essential oils can be useful in helping you balance your hormones. Many women have been successful in applying essential oils topically to alleviate menstrual syndrome or PMS, cramping, and other symptoms. I know there is an oil called Dragon Thyme that my daughter has used very effectively. Another thing that can really help with PMS and cramping is a good multi-B vitamin. If you take that on a daily basis all month long, it's good for your overall health, and it helps to, doctor explained to me that it helps hormones to enter into the muscle tissue more easily, and that helps to alleviate a lot of the symptoms of PMS. And even when you go into menopause, the PMS symptoms are greatly reduced, but you can still sometimes feel them. And it's kind of odd because when you're no longer having a cycle, you don't really think about it. And then you wake up with those symptoms, a little bit of bloating, a little bit of crankiness, just feeling kind of blah all over. And it's like, why am I feeling this way today? Well, then it's like, oh, I remember this feeling. This is PMS. And so you can still have those symptoms, although greatly reduced when you get into menopause. Some people enjoy essential oils aromatically by diffusing them in the air, while others combine them with Epsom salts for a therapeutic bath. Evidence continues to emerge suggesting essential oils can play a beneficial role during menopause. This is certainly a topic relevant to many of us. And even guys, if there's any men listening to this, before you just tune out, surely there's somebody in your life that could use this information. So educate yourself. And not only that, but men go through andropause. And although the oils that you would use as a man are not the same as a woman would use, some of them may be the same, but there are essential oils that can help you through the time of andropause as well. And we don't hear near as much about andropause. Doctors don't address it, the media doesn't address it, people don't address it, but it happens. And it is a significant event in a man's life and in the life of those that love him. And it can have detrimental effects on his health just as well as it can on a woman's health. Although you may think that menopause is a season of life, it is medically defined as marking the cessation of a woman's menstrual period for 12 consecutive months. Menopause signals that your ovaries are producing less estrogen and you no longer have the ability to become pregnant. While some arrive at this stage earlier or later, the typical range for menopause is 45 to 55 years. That means you can start into perimenopause between 35 and 45. That's kind of scary. A lot of women today are not even choosing to have babies until they're 35 or 40 years old. That's why they call having a baby at that age a geriatric pregnancy. There's just something wrong with that, isn't there? Geriatric pregnancy. The average age for menopause is 51 years old. Most women experience this change of life at an age similar to when their mothers did. My mother had a hysterectomy at 29, so I had no idea when that would happen. Previously, women going through menopause had limited options for managing a wide range of symptoms and signs that accompany it. One of the primary treatments, hormone replacement therapy, or HRT, has been linked to some forms of cancer. The Women's Health Institute, which involved a landmark study of 160,000 postmenopausal women, showed that hormone replacement therapy involving estrogen and progestin may not be suitable for all women. In fact, for women who had not had a hysterectomy, HRT dramatically increased their risk for breast cancer, dementia, and strokes. Now, I don't think that applies to bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. I think that is the pharmaceutical hormone replacement therapy modalities, which would be Premarin and some of those. Signs and symptoms of menopause. If you already reached menopause, you're likely familiar with many of the common signs and symptoms. Keep in mind some of the following concerns may also arise during perimenopause, the transitional phase leading up to menopause, which may last between 8 and 10 years. So some of those things that you will start experiencing or can start experiencing, you don't have to. There are things you can do to stop this. So bone loss and brittle bones, your libido can be greatly decreased, sleep changes including insomnia, hair changes including texture or thickness or increased body or facial hair, mood changes including anxiety, depression, and irritability, vaginal dryness and pain during intercourse, hot flashes, muscle loss, voice changes, irregular periods during the perimenopausal stage, night sweats, they're the worst, weight gain, particularly around the waist, that's also the worst. Beyond HRT, doctors will often propose treatment or medications to target specific symptoms that arise before and during menopause. Rather than attempting to treat a collection of individual symptoms, I recommend you devise a treatment plan that addresses menopause as a whole, not bone loss, not hot flashes, like most doctors do. I am told menopause symptoms can be annoying. I know they can be annoying. With proper treatment, they generally should not diminish your overall quality of life. That being said, some women may experience horrifically debilitating symptoms before and during menopause. If that is you, please consult a physician before undertaking any form of treatment, especially prior to experimenting with alternative remedies. I suggest that you find a holistic doctor to address those, because a holistic doctor will treat the overall condition rather than symptoms. Being on an antidepressant is not going to cure the overall condition. It may help you not feel like you want to kill everybody around you, but it is not going to really be beneficial in the long run. And there are so many side effects to those that you do not want to experience. So conventional treatments versus essential oils. If you're among the growing segment of women who feel uncomfortable with the idea of using conventional HRT to treat menopause or perimenopause symptoms, especially given the outcome of the WHI studies, Women's Health Institute, you may want to consider essential oils. While more studies are necessary to validate their efficacy, essential oils may be useful to help you manage certain menopause-related symptoms. Obviously, each woman's body is different and unique. It will respond differently to different forms of treatment, and that includes oils. And you may need different oils than somebody else. But there are some specific oils that show promise in helping with these symptoms. I recommend that you get with a holistic health practitioner to find the remedy that works best for your concerns. With proper medical supervision, essential oils may be the missing ingredient your body wants and needs. Essential oils could provide you with the best of both worlds by helping to relieve some or all of the nagging and bothersome symptoms of menopause, thereby avoiding potentially harmful conventional treatments. For certain, the risks of adverse outcomes are significantly reduced when using natural substances like essential oils. So some of the oils that I know have worked for me and that Dr. Mercola talks about in this article are clary sage, which is known to alleviate PMS pain, relieve hot flashes, soothe stressful feelings, and improve hormone balance. Geranium has been shown to help balance hormones and improve mood, as well as promote menstrual cycle regularity during perimenopause. Also is thought to have anti-anxiety and antidepressant effects. Lavender, long known to promote relaxation and sleep, It's also now thought to aid in balancing hormones, easing cramps, soothing stress, and alleviating menopause-related headaches, heart palpitations, and hot flashes. Pine. I love pine. Believed to help reduce bone loss and protect against osteoporosis. Rose. Proposed as a strengthener of the uterus, which may result in improved mood and a reduction in hot flashes. Vitex agnus cactus, also known as chasteberry and Abraham's balm, long professed to help with the irregular menstrual periods and mood swings. Another one is peppermint. Now, peppermint is great for relieving tension in your head, and it is long known as a cooling agent. So if you are struggling with that constant state of summer, a little peppermint applied appropriately will help to cool your overall body temperature, especially at night if you apply it back of your neck, lower back, just strategic places on your body. It just helps to keep you cooler. You may want to use these oils aromatically by diffusing them into the air, which will enable you to realize their many benefits without potential risk of applying them topically or internally if you have sensitive skin. Essential oil diffusers are readily available online and through many other sources. Many of us find it beneficial to incorporate essential oils into massage, which can be timed to support your body's needs around the menstrual cycle. When using them for massage, it's best to dilute the oils with a carrier oil such as coconut oil or jojoba oil. Now, one thing I want to explain to you about oils is that essential oils are not like a coconut oil or a jojoba oil. Essential oils are volatile, which means that they evaporate. And it doesn't mean that they're going to explode. It means that they're going to evaporate. So when you put a drop of oil on your skin, say you put it in your hand, palm of your hands, it is going to absorb into your skin within 30 seconds. And I think it's within 30 minutes or 26 minutes, it's a very short period of time. The constituents in that oil are in every cell in your body. So it travels very fast through your skin into the cells of your body. So it can have pretty profound and pretty immediate effects. So you want to keep that in mind when you're applying it. There are some great things you can do to get oils into your system. One way is to add different oils to Epsom salts and just soak in a bath for 40 minutes or so. So here's some blends that Dr. Mercola recommends. PMS bath blend, 5 drops of clary sage, 2 to 3 drops of chamomile, 2 drops of geranium, 2 to 3 drops of lavender, some jojoba oil, and put that in Epsom salts and add to your warm bath. PMS hormonal balance blend, 2 drops of clary sage, 1 drop of geranium, 1 drop of lang lang, which I love lang lang. Or my company has one called Dragon Time that's specially blended just for that time. Menstrual massage blend, 5 drops of lavender, 5 drops of cypress, 10 drops of peppermint, 10 drops of nutmeg, and add that to a carrier oil and massage it into the whole abdomen or lower back before and during your period. You can also combine 3 drops of clary sage, 3 drops of juniper, 3 drops of chamomile, and gently massage this blend clockwise around the belly. Now, some people say, well, why clockwise? Well, there's an energetic flow in our bodies. And so if you massage clockwise, both when you put the oils in your hands or when you apply them into your body, it just goes with the energetic flow of your body. That does not mean that if you go counterclockwise, that they're not going to be effective. It just is like going with the grain of the wood when you're staining a piece of furniture. The stain will still go in if you go against the grain of the wood, but it will go in easier and smoother if you go with the grain of the wood. Same thing applies to essential oils. Dr. Mercola goes on to say that just because essential oils are natural does not mean that they're safe in every instance. So you need to understand what you're doing. You need to work with somebody who is educated in oils, if you are not. And you need to go slow. If you have sensitive skin, you could possibly have a reaction. I apply oils all over my body. I have not had any reaction to them. I tell people when they're starting out, apply to the bottom of your feet. They get into your body just as fast from the bottom of your feet or the palms of your hands as they do by putting them on your arms or your chest or your belly or wherever. So the skin is a lot less sensitive on the bottom of your feet, and all the nerve endings are in the bottom of your feet. There's great blood flow usually from the bottom of your feet and from the palms of your hands. You also need to be aware that there can be reactions with your medication if you're on medication. So again, you need to work with somebody who understands and is educated in the use of oils when you're doing this. Always do one oil at a time. Just add one oil at a time when you first get started. There are some other kind of pharmaceutical, there are some other things that you can do to help balance your hormones besides oils. And Dr. Mercola suggests these things. Adopt a stress management techniques such as controlled breathing, meditation, prayer, and yoga. Avoid processed foods, which often contain chemicals and toxic additives that can interfere with your body's ability to regulate hormones. We all know that a lot of food and a lot of cleaning products have estrogen inhibitors or estrogen boosters in them. So staying more natural in your choices in the foods that you eat and the chemicals that you allow around yourself will help to control these things. Eat a healthy, balanced diet centered on whole foods, including organic vegetables and fruits, grass-fed dairy and meat, and high-quality, healthy fats. Get regular exercise and make sure your program includes a variety of activities such as core training, high-intensity cardio, peak fitness, stretching, and weight training. Avoid prolonged periods of sitting and remain upright and active as much as possible during non-exercise hours. Now, I know this is something I struggle with, and I know it's something that people struggle with as they get older. I have made it a goal of mine to start doing yoga and do some other things that are more gentle movement than some of the things that he recommends here. I am not a high intensity cardio girl, never have been, never will be. Limit your caffeine and sugar intake. I, for one, am trying to reduce sugar out of my life. Try to maintain a healthy weight. again, something I'm struggling with. Quit smoking. That is a number one. I've never smoked, so I can't address that. Reduce your intake of processed vegetable oils, some of which are genetically engineered, and balance your intake of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. If you can get an omega vitamin that has all of the omegas in it, that's optimal. Same with a B vitamin. Get a B vitamin that is a multi-B, not just one B or the other. Multi is excellent. And if you need some suggestions on where to get some of these, I'd be happy to share my favorites with you if you'll just reach out to me. Sleep according to your body's age-related sleep needs. I try to get at least 6 to 7 hours. I know they say 8. It just doesn't happen for me. My body naturally wakes up after 6 or 7 hours, and I'm wide awake. So, like last night, I went to bed at about 10:30. I woke up at 5:15, ready to go this morning. It's vital you consume plenty of high-quality, unprocessed fats as part of your daily eating program. Fat is a great fuel for our body and is not what is stored in our bodies as fat. Omega-3 fatty acids are an important part of the equation if you want to naturally balance your hormones. A study published in the Obstetrical and Gynecological Survey underscores the importance of omega-3 fats to women's health. Some of the potential benefits of omega-3 researchers cited include facilitates chances of pregnancy in infertile women, lowers the risk of premature birth, increases the length of pregnancy and baby's birth weight, supports the developments of baby's brains, helps to stabilize triglyceride levels, which often increase during hormone therapy. So that's the one that's most significant to our age group. But if you have daughters that are, or granddaughters that are trying to get pregnant or are pregnant, this is good information for them as well. The study authors also noted that there's some evidence that supplementation with omega-3 fatty acids might help to prevent preeclampsia, postpartum depression, menopausal problems, postmenopausal osteoporosis, and breast cancer. It's very important to choose a high-quality animal source for your omega-3 fats, such as anchovies, sardines, wild-caught Alaskan salmon. If those are not optimal for you, you might consider supplementing with a high-quality fish oil supplement or krill oil, which is Dr. Mercola says is his favorites. Some of the benefits of bioidentical hormones. There are not all hormone replacement therapy is bad, and bioidenticals is an option that I have found very helpful as well. Many women have used bioidentical hormones to relieve menopause and perimenopausal symptoms. Because bioidentical hormones are readily available through a compounding pharmacy with a doctor's prescription, they work well, but I highly recommend avoiding synthetic and animal estrogens for any hormone replacement therapy. So when you're talking to your doctor about bioidenticals, make sure that it is plant-based. 3 types of estrogens are common in bioidentical hormones: estradiol, estriol, and estrone. A commonly prescribed formulation known as Triest includes 80% estriol and 10% of each estradiol and estrone. Estriol is considered the safest of the three and is the most common prescribed. It has been used safely for decades and he believes it particularly useful if you've had a hysterectomy. My doctor does not use one of these, and I can't remember which one, because it is more likely to cause the cancers. Dr. Mercola also recommends using natural progesterone in lieu of synthetic progestins. There's reasons to believe synthetic progestins are responsible for many, if not most, of the detrimental side effects of hormone therapy. Natural progesterone is made from a substance called I can't even say it. Dioxygen, which is commonly extracted from wild yams or soybeans. Even though it may be extracted from soy, it's highly purified hormone that contains absolutely no remnants of problematic soy substances. Whether you choose essential oils, diet and lifestyle, or natural hormones, or a combination of all three, which is what I do, I hope you will recognize you have many healthy options available to support you before and during menopause. I also use an oil which has been formulated from yams called Progessence Plus, which is part of my essential oil regimen. So that is pretty much what Dr. Mercola has to say on this topic. I hope that this has been beneficial to you, and I hope that you all have a beautiful and vibrant life this week. This is Vicki Washburn with the Boomer's Guide to a Vibrant Life.
Host of The Boomer's Guide to a Vibrant Life. Connect with Vicki at www.globalvoiceradio.com. Tune in next week for another edition of The Boomer's Guide to a Vibrant Life on Global Voice Radio, where your message and your voices are heard.